Welcome home, everybody. Pound it, bring it in. Good to see you. Man, it's we so today is Halloween or Fall Fest, depending on who you are and what you believe. Um, a day of fall, and in October, honestly, just to me, it's like the beginning. October is the beginning of the holiday season, and it frustrates me every year. Christmas is brought out earlier and earlier. It's ridiculous. I'm one of those believe that at least after Halloween, fine. Okay, I still don't like it. I much prefer it. Once the holiday is over, once Thanksgiving is done, yeah, bring out the Christmas stuff, have a party, go buck wild. That's what I believe. Not everyone believes that, but whatever. So anyway, so today I told you last week that, or at least Thursday. I told you Thursday that I might or may not be doing a Halloween special, and the reason why I wasn't sure was because, well, I'm not one for Halloween. I mean, I don't really celebrate it. I tolerate it, and it's not like I don't like Halloween. It's just a yeah. Basically, where I work is we believe more in Fall Fest, where we do more of just fall festival activities. The changing of colors of the season, basically the ending of fall, and the ending of summer into winter type thing, and just things like that. Harvest season things. That's what we kind of celebrate. Just changing of the season of what the Lord made. Other people celebrate Halloween, and it's completely fine if they do. And so I just thought, though, a lot of people don't know why we celebrate that, and honestly, um, the history of it comes from. Now, to be fair, Halloween is much more complex than just what I'm about to tell you. There are many different cultures and many different ideas of Halloween. However, this is the typical belief and the basis of the American Halloween, sort of, which is interesting because it's not the history doesn't come from America. It comes from Ireland mainly, and Italy. Well, because of the Romans anyway, but it comes from Europe anyway, which is funny because I don't know, it just anyway. That's a different story. Sidetrack. Anyway, so basically the way how the history. We'll start with that. Try to get everything. So let's talk about the history of Halloween. So I can't tell you dates because honestly, everyone says different dates. But back before the Roman time, so this is Celtic Gaelic tribe area, um, time area time, Celtic times, ancient no older times, not ancient. Man, should have probably looked up. Anyway, but back in that time when the Roman Empire was beginning to move in and conquer Britain and such in that early Celtic area, um, is where Halloween really became fused. Because so where it comes from is the Gaelic festival of Shamhan or Shaman. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it. It's Gaelic. I only know a few words Gaelic. That's not one of them. But anyway, so its celebration is basically they believe that it is the time where the realm of the dead and the evil spirits and the realm of earth and everything come together due to the changing of the seasons, the falling of the leaf. I pointed over there because there's a window over there with a tree, so that's why I pointed over there. So it's the changing of the seasons, the dead leaves, and everything turning cold. It being summer, crops growing, crops begin to start changing color because it's time for them to be cultivated. And so that's why they believed it was about the same time that basically the realms came. And it was also back in Ireland a lot. Around the around the same time frame was when a lot of supernatural sort of phenomenons would happen. Um, it was believed that some sort of version of like the Northern Lights kind of happened this time. Other sort of mystical comets, not comics, uh, began to happen, and so they believed that that's what this was. and so they would do celebrations to try to protect themselves. Uh, the whole reason why we dress up for Halloween is they thought if they dressed up, the spirits that came into the world wouldn't recognize them and wouldn't possess them. So that's where they kind of get that. And so there's a whole celebration on that. Now, the Romans, they did more of like the festivals. They believed in the festivals, and it was more to appease their gods. And so when they came and conquered a lot of the Celtics, well, the Celtics so much believed in their traditions, the Romans kind of sort of began to adopt them and kind of fuse them in to their own beliefs of the changing of the festival seasons and everything like that. And because the Roman Empire was so vast, it spread to, well, all of Europe, really. And eventually, it settled there, and that's how it spread, where eventually it came over here. And that's the quick, dirty, very 10,000 feet above the, flyby of where Halloween comes from. Interesting, so a lot of people, though, so whenever I kind of tell them, they don't really care about the history. They want to know, well, what about costumes, which I kind of explained. It was to disguise so that the spirits wouldn't possess them, or they would think them friendly so no harm would come to them. So then what about the trick-or-treating? Well, the trick-or-treating was around that time. Kids didn't really believe too much into this. Some did, but so what they would do is they would be misfits, because it was a good time to be misfits, because they could blame it. Oh no, that was the spirit that did that. I didn't do that. That was the spirit. And so older people got wind of this, and to kind of make them happy, they would give them treats. And so that's kind of where trick or treat came from. That's one version. Again, there are many versions of this. This is just the one that we kind of more associate with. So then, what about the jack-o'-lanterns? Now, this is actually a pretty cool story, because I've told you that I really, really enjoy Irish Celtic history, and so mythology is one of them that I really like. And so the story is that there was a guy called Stingy Jack, and he ended up making a deal with the devil. Now this was actually much later. This wasn't in the original Celtic Gaelic ideas. This was much later, after the Rome fell, during the Holy Roman Empire kind of belief. It kind of more developed, but it was believed that he outsmarted. It might have been earlier. But anyway, he outsmarted the devil so that he could have extra life. And so that's what at least he thought he did. But anyway, when he ended up finally dying after his extended life, the devil couldn't accept him because of the deal. And, well, he couldn't go up to heaven because, well, he wasn't really the greatest person. And so he kind of lived in the realm of in-between. But in the realm of in-between, of life and death, is very... it's dark, it's not very safe, and so in order to kind of help lead him, he would, instead of pumpkins, he would carve turnips, and some say even potatoes because it's Irish, but anyway, he would carve these and put a light on them to kind of help guide his way, and also to help kind of disguise from spirits that were in that kind of middle realm. And so that's kind of where the term jack-o'-lantern. So it was believed that if you saw a person walking with a carved turnip or something like that, a jack-o'-lantern, it was Jack with the lantern. So kind of that folklore kind of spread into pumpkins more, especially here in America. It was pumpkins instead of turnips and other root vegetables like that, well, potatoes and such. So that was where that one comes from. What was the other one that people always ask questions on of Halloween, where we get those traditions? Those are pretty much the two big ones, is that. So, candy, dress up, trick-or-treating, and jack-o'-lanterns. That's really it. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. And that's the history. Rough, very, very rough, quick, dirty history. And again, it's a version of Halloween. That's with anything, though, in history, is that everyone has different versions, opinions, things like that. But that's the generalization of what we believe. Well, that's what our census of history is. Get it? All right, so I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys got something cool out of this. Again, guys, be safe on this night and this day, and happy Fall Fest. I love you guys. He loves you for sure. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.